Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Casually Serious. On today's episode, we have something different for you. Oftentimes, we get to see married people come on air, talk about their marriage experiences, everything they've done, and the likes. So I thought about it. How about we change the narrative a bit so that the prayer can reduce? Because it looks like the marriage prayer is getting worse. So let's give the singles or those that are yet to be married, let's give them some breathing space. So I thought, let's bring them on board. Let's learn from their experiences. You know, they say experience is the best teacher. Let's learn from them on how to maximize singlehood, especially for those out there who are not married. Let's learn how they are maximizing their singlehood, hence this particular series of this podcast. So once again, you're welcome to today's episode. And our guest is already on seat. Who's going to be talking with us. We're going to be having a conversation with her. With no further ado, let's make welcome our guest for today in person of Miss Teniola Aino. Miss Teniola Aino.
Hi.
You seem shy. Don't let me cast you on air. You're not a shy person.
No, I'm not shy.
Alright, so loosen up. Shake well before you. Alright, you're welcome to today's episode.
Thank you.
Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring our invitation.
My pleasure.
Alright, so you're going to introduce yourself, or should I help you?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, anytime you're watching this. Okay, so my name is Teniola Aino, and first, so I'm a single mom, I'm a chef, I'm a social media manager, I'm a girl, I'm single, I'm my father's daughter, I'm beautiful.
No, we thought you were a boy. you are disguised today, we thought you were a boy. There's something she's living out. She's actually the CEO of Tennis Kitchen, so you might want to check that out on Instagram. Tennis as in Tennies.
Yes.
Is there an underscore before the kitchen?
Yeah, no, there's no underscore. It's just KITCHEN.
Okay. TENNISKITCHEN. One.
Yes.
So she's the CEO of Tennis Kitchen. You can check her out on Instagram, and you can also engage her services. And trust me, you're going to love it. All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
The first thing I do, or the first question I like to ask everyone that comes on air is this, because there are people watching.
Yes.
All right. And of course, like it or not, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Everybody that comes on air is beautiful to one person or the other.
Of course.
All right. And there are persons who are searching, that are watching. So I like to clear the air so that some persons' hope will not be unnecessarily raised, and some persons will not be unnecessarily agitated. So let's know. Are you? Yes, you're not married yet, but have you been seen, or you are not being seen at all?
Okay. So you know that there's a saying that they say that you are single until you are married. Okay. So I would like to hold on to that. I'm single until I am married, because obviously I don't have any ring there. So
you heard that from my mouth, not my mouth. So in case the bros is watching, it's not my fault. I was thinking you're going to break some hearts anyway. So she has said it. She's single until she's married. Okay, yeah, I think I remember that saying. You're not married until you're married. Yeah, that's true. So that's it. In your introductory speech, you mentioned something about being a single mom.
Yes.
And that caught my interest, to be honest. That caught my interest because I have heard things, I have heard people, I have had conversations. I like to interact with people, I like to engage people in discussions, and I have heard people share some scenarios like this and how, it weighed them down, or something happened and they just couldn't. So we're going to kick off on that note, all right?
Okay.
How did you feel when you found out that, of course, you had to be pregnant before you became a single mom? How did you feel when you found out you were pregnant?
When I found out I was pregnant, I was scared. I was scared of, what is being pregnant like?
Okay.
Because, of course, I didn't know I was pregnant until 3 months after.
Oh wow.
So I was not imagining that, wait, was I pregnant all this while?
Wow.
So it was a scary phase for me, kind of, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was going to get. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just knew I was pregnant. And I was like, okay, so what is being pregnant really like? And so it was just a very scary phase for me. Like, I'll sleep and wake up and I'll be like, am I really pregnant? Like, I'll check my stomach
You check.
on phone.
Were you depressed?
Yes, I was. I was depressed because I was my dad's favorite. Even till now, I'm still his favorite, yes. So I was depressed because I didn't get the kind of love I was expecting to get. So my father's love for me, it went down.
Quite.
Family love went down. Nobody even wanted to see me. There was no school in section. School was on strike. So I was depressed. In fact, I can remember that I drank one bottle of please remind me this vodka drink or spirit. One whole bottle of spirit.
Spirit,
so
like the
as to-
transparent one.
Yes, so as to wash off the pregnancy. So it won't be like, oh, I deliberately went to have an abortion.
At 3 months.
Yes,
They are
at
playing.
3 months plus.
They play.
So I took it thinking, oh, it's going to wash it off and on, but it's a lie. I was drunk. I slept for days. And when I woke up, my wala was still my wala.
You found out that it was still there.
Yes, it was still there.
That must have been kind of like some traumatic experience for you.
Yes,
For a
there was
while.
nobody to
Were
talk
there
to.
suicidal thoughts?
Yes.
How did you combat that?
So
How did you deal with it?
I think the only thing that didn't make me commit the suicide at the end of the day is my parents' prayer. Or God still has a reason for my life.
All right.
So as at that time, I was not with my parents. I was not with the father or the baby. I was just with a schoolmate of mine. And sleeping and waking up and finding out that, oh my, you are pregnant. Who is going to accept you? Who is going to take care of you? And it was just a lot for me. And I just thought that maybe I should just sleep and don't wake up again.
Wow.
So there was this mixture of sniper we usually have to fleet the house.
Okay.
So I had that sniper already mixed with the gin, because then I was taking a whole lot of gin
to
suppress my thinking level.
Drunkard.
I'm not a drunkard, though. I'm a child of God. Then
she was a part-time drunkard then, trying to get rid of the pregnancy. Wow.
Yes. So I was like, okay, so let me just sleep a bit, and when I wake up, I'll take it. So when I slept and I woke up, my friend's mother was sitting down beside me. Cabo. So and she's a soldier.
Okay.
So when she saw it, she was like, so you want to kill yourself to my name in this barracks? Like, what do you want them to say? So she was the one that saved me, that didn't allow me to take the sniper there.
And then afterwards, have you, or let me ask you this way, looking back now, because to be honest, personally, let me say it first, like, having known you for a while, I'm thankful to God that didn't work. Number one, because that would have been you bearing a lot of potentials.
Yeah.
All right. And then knowing your daughter as well, the smart chap that she is, I'm thankful to God that you were not able to flush her. Yeah, I'm thankful to God. So now, I'm going to ask you two now. That's for me personally. Looking back now, do you thank God that you are you happy, all right, that the pregnancy abortion did not work and that you didn't kill yourself?
Of course.
You're very happy.
Yes, extremely happy.
All right.
I used to say one thing, that I'm a very proud single mom. Like, I'm very, very proud of it. So.
To be honest, I really think it's, there are situations that when they happen and they go beyond our control, I think we just have to learn to live with it. You see, not learning to live with it and not learning to bounce from it can be very, very dangerous, to a very large extent. And that's when suicidal thoughts come in and people end up taking their lives and they live in depression all their lives. But yeah, she found a way to bounce back from it, and by the grace of God, she's doing well. Yeah, I know her. She's doing well. she cooks good food, like really, really good food, and she's a social media manager. She does that really well as well. Okay, so having heard all that, I want to ask you some questions. Looking back at your relationship, is just something you feel was not right about the relationship, all right? From the inception of relationship, during the relationship, did you think you're supposed to be in that relationship on May? And then number two is a 2 in 1 question. When you got pregnant, when you told him, did he accept it?
Okay, so I'm going to I want that. Alright. So when I was in the relationship, if I knew it was right or wrong, I really, looking back, I would say I didn't know what a right relationship was or a wrong relationship was. So what was just in my head was, okay, you have to be in a relationship to get married.
Okay.
And what I wanted was, I just wanted to get married. I want to be married.
You were fascinated by
Yes,
the
I was
thought of
fascinated by the thought of marriage.
Mm.
I'm going to be in my husband's house. I'm going to be controlling my house. All of those things. That was what I just saw and I wanted. So any relationship, if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else.
Okay.
But then any relationship I was seeing, I just wanted to just be in a relationship to get married. So I didn't know right relationship or wrong relationship.
Sorry to cut you in. Can we say that was peer pressure?
Thank you. Yes.
You had friends around you that
friends
that were in relationships.
Funny enough, I think I was the youngest amongst my group of friends then. All of them were all in a relationship.
And do you know the funny thing? I'm not a prophet, but I can say something. Those people that pressurized you didn't get pregnant. See, peer pressure is bad. See,
my own first time like this.
That is the thing. If you bow to peer pressure, it might not happen to them.
Oh my god.
So, sometimes it's about knowing yourself. So now those that pushed you, they are masters at it already. You will try and once it click.
As in, my friends, they never got pregnant.
Of course.
They never even did abortion. They never did anything.
Sorry, one more thing. When you got pregnant, were they supportive? Like, were they behind you all through the pregnancy stages, the pregnancy depression and everything? Or you found out that you were now in Oyo?
OYO on your
another disadvantage of peer pressure. Sorry, I'm just trying to bring out this point while she's talking, so we can see that some things are not just worth it. We live in a society where peer pressure has become kind of like a thing, and if you bow to it, you might just get stuck alone, and that's the thing. And those who pushed you to it will just leave you. That's the honest truth. So I need to bring out that point. So back to what we were saying. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your relationship.
So when I got pregnant, or no, not even when I knew I was pregnant, of course it was one that disvirgined me.
Okay.
So when I knew I was pregnant, so the night he disvirgined me, I was very angry. I was pained. The next day morning, I left angrily. We didn't talk for a long time.
Why were you angry, if I may ask?
I was angry.
Was it not mutual?
I wasn't ready. I was not ready. In fact, the thing that happened that night was that I was drunk. My first time of taking alcohol.
Did they give you the drink or you took it yourself?
We went to a party, so I drank it myself.
Oh.
I was trying to feel among.
No, just trying to.
I was feeling
so it doesn't look like the guy is a badass.
Nah.
I want to be sure that there are some things you did voluntarily.
Yes.
Yourself. Okay, you went to the party. You volunteered to go to the party.
Yes.
You took the drinks yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got drunk yourself.
Yes, I got drunk myself.
Okay.
As instead of us to return back to school, went out of school to sleep
somewhere else.
So if we had slept in school, maybe I wouldn't have gotten pregnant.
And you didn't know that you were not, like, you were so drunk that you didn't even know that you were
I didn't even know anything. That was my first time of getting drunk.
Okay.
So the next morning when I just woke up and I saw that something
flower has been plucked.
Something has. So I was very angry and I left angrily. So we didn't talk for a very long period of time. So I didn't even know I was pregnant, or I didn't know anything until when I needed to do a medical test. And so we went downstairs, we did the medical test and all. And then the nurse told me, you're pregnant. I was like, no, it's not possible.
How did that hit you? Like, I'm trying to imagine how fast your heart must have skipped. Like,
If you see the way I was arguing with the nurse, because I was still seeing my menses, like
Okay.
I was still on my menstrual cycle, I was still seeing everything. I was feeling like a
that's
normal.
strange.
So nothing. I was like, it's not possible. I was arguing with the nurse. Like, it's not possible for me to be pregnant. Like, it's not just possible.
Wow. I find that strange though. You were still seeing your monthly flow,
Yes, I was still seeing my monthly
and you were
flow,
pregnant.
and I was pregnant for 3 months. In
Please
fact,
do me a favor. Take good care of that child. Like for you, take very good care of that child. Preserve her, pray for her, teach her in the way of the Lord. I feel like, fine, the mistake was made or something, but sometimes God can make a message out of your mess. You understand? So
yeah.
maybe God wants to make something beautiful out of it. So do me a favor. I don't want us to waste too much time. I don't want to make this too much very long. So let's say one thing. The answer to the question I asked now is this: you didn't get into a relationship because you were ready. You bowed to peer pressure.
Yeah.
So automatically, that doesn't make it a right relationship.
Of course.
That's it. It's a peer pressure relationship. All right. So that's it. So now I want to ask you again: if you could turn back the hand of time, what would you do differently?
First, probably maybe because I actually enjoy the fact that I have a baby now. Okay. Maybe I would have changed the fact that the father of my baby.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have been a change, and then would have done it rightly, formally, and all. And I would have changed. What else would I have changed? I would have changed my group of friends.
Okay.
I would have changed the way I brought up my daughter. In a way, I wouldn't have.
I feel like engaging you now, but I feel like it's going to be lengthy. I'm not going to do that today. Maybe some other time. The way you brought up your daughter, that one struck something in me. The way you brought her up, because I know there are ways you bring up children and the likes of them. So that one struck. Maybe some other time we'll talk about that one. So summarily, you would have changed a lot of things. I want us to take note of those points. She said she would have changed a group of friends. I always say something: don't let your friends choose you. Choose your friends. If you don't have friends, you will not die. Don't let people that will drag you or make you go astray come into your life and push you out of the way of the Lord, or just make you do things, and at the end of the day, they leave you to yourself. So from what you said now, I think picking your friends is very important, like you said. So you don't want to pick those that would make you pressurized. Peer pressure is real. Sincerely, this thing is too trivialized. People overlook these things. Peer pressure is underrated. You won't know until you are in the midst. So don't even get in the midst at all. If you start seeing things, red flags amidst your circle, withdraw. Friendship is not by force, it's by choice. It should be by choice, not by force. All right. So that's some point from what she said. Now I want to ask you now, these whole experiences what has it taught you? And by the way, she kept on mentioning baby. So we don't think the baby is still baby. How old is your daughter now?
My daughter is 9 years old.
So this happened like 9 years ago. So
yes.
9. So because she's mentioning baby, so something baby, she just gave it. No, this happened 9 years ago, and she's 9 years wiser. All right. So automatically your daughter is 9 years stronger, and you're 9 years wiser. All right. So now I want to ask you, what has this whole experience taught you? What has it taught you? What has you made you into?
So it made me to be more responsible. So I think one thing I appreciate for that stage of my life was being responsible. So I made mention of one thing before that. I'm my father's favorite.
Okay.
So my father would do anything to make me fine and okay. So them in all circumstances. So I would go to school and bring my dirty clothes home to be washed.
By who?
By the washing machine.
Oh, okay.
Or anybody that is ready to wash.
I thought you said your father's favorite.
Yes.
You bring clothes. I they say you brought clothes for your father.
No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So and that made me responsible for myself.
Okay.
So that phase made me a very conscious person.
Okay.
I was very cautious with things around me before. I'm a very lackadaisical person. Even till now, there are some things that don't move me past, in as much as you're not stopping me from serving God, you're not stopping me from sleeping, you're not stopping me from eating.
I know that one's gonna come. Oh,
every other thing is just by the way.
Okay.
So my experience has actually made me look forward to more things. So I think about tomorrow, not this tomorrow Thursday, but tomorrow the
Yeah,
tomorrow.
a
Like
futuristic
I
thing.
look
Yeah.
forward to something that is happening in the next 5 years.
Okay.
And it has made me grow. I've had that growth phase in
Okay.
a massive way. And one more thing is that it has made me appreciate life,
Okay.
what life is. You know, to be living is different. Everybody's living, they are just living. But to appreciate the life that you have, some people are looking for this life and they don't have it.
Okay.
That is to say, you are more privileged than they are. So I was not this privileged 9 years back, 8 years back, 7 years back, 6 years back. But at every stage of my growth, of my development, I've appreciated each life I've left behind.
Okay.
Each stages of life I've left behind. And I appreciate it more because of where it is taking me to.
Okay.
So it makes me look forward to what is coming next.
Okay.
So I won't want to end my life anymore.
Okay. So this thing, what I can deduce from what you just said now is that, you see, having gone through those obstacles and successfully crossed them, it has given you this sense of feeling that there is nothing that comes your way that you cannot surmount.
Yes.
Yeah. So it kind of like gets you ready for the bigger future and all. All right, I think we said a lot, but I would, trust me, I can take this longer. I like to talk. I like to engage people in discussion to get facts and lessons from them. But for the sake of this video, I don't want it to be too long. I'm just going to ask one more question. All right? No, it's not really a question. I want you to talk to people out there who are not married, who have probably been through this same experience. All right? I want you to tell them how to maximize a singlehood. All right? And then I want you to advise them based on your experience, especially for those who are going through what you've been through. You know, you've come out of it. So, because there are persons going, whether I would like to know, there are persons who are going through it or who have been through it and have not bounced back, or they have not snapped out of it. So, what would you say to them?
Okay, so first is acceptance for me. I think when you accept who you are, what you are going through, what you are facing, when you accept it, is the number one stage of growth. So because if you don't accept it, you still be like, oh no, this cannot be happening to me. You keep, it's just like you digging a hole. You just keep going and keep sinking and keep sinking in it. So first, accept it, and trust me, it's just a thing of talk for now. Everybody talking about it, everybody gossiping about you, everybody that have an opinion about what you are going through in a negative part. It's just a thing of now. Give you me 3-4 years after, they'll stop talking about you. They'll stop talking about what you do, how you do, where you go to, how you go to. They'll stop. It will pass. Another person will do another thing. You are not the first. You won't be the last. It's just life. Just accept that stage, and it's hard to look forward. Yes, it's very, very hard. Especially maybe when you're not getting help. You're not getting assistance from anyone. I didn't get help. I didn't get assistance from anybody. I got my assistance from God. I got my help from God. It was God that sent the people He sent to me, and one of my mothers who is late now. So I think that's what I did basically. I started fending for myself. I left all the things over. Don't worry, I will help you. No, I didn't see anybody. She, bed. I don't see.
Those are uncles,
I didn't see anybody.
A lot of us have uncles that promise.
As they'll promise you and fail. It's only God that cannot promise you and will fail you. God will promise you and He will keep to it. So just hold on to God. Keep praying. Ask God for strength. And everything I usually say, by God's grace, it's just by God's grace. Like you're even facing what you're facing, and it's by God's grace that you will come out of it. So ask God for strength. Keep praying. Accept yourself for who you are. Be yourself. And don't try and impress anybody. The more you try to impress people, the more you fall into shackles of people. And people will start using you. And it won't be for the best, it won't be for the better. Just accept who you are, accept where you are going to, accept where you doesn't you're in that shit, yes. Accept it. I'm in this shit. Okay, so what's next? What do I look forward to? What can I get to do for myself? In the beginning, I wanted to be an accountant in my life. I never, if you tell anybody 10 years ago that Tenny will be in the kitchen cooking for people, they will deny it. My father would say it's a lie. Alapa kenimi. I couldn't do anything. But now, don't try me. Oh. So just accept yourself, love yourself. It's what you take in, you take out. So just accept yourself and trust God.
Yeah, thank you for that. There's one point she kept on hammering on. I don't know if you noticed. Acceptance. If you don't accept yourself, people won't accept you.
Yes.
Accept yourself. There's a God factor, all right, and then acceptance. Then she made mention of something which I'm going to clarify. Don't wallow in self-pity. So the more you continue in self-pity, you continue to feel disadvantaged, and then you continue to be at the mercy of people, and they take advantage of it. Yes. You know, people are very, very quick to exploit loopholes, or you understand. If people figure out your weakness, they want to exploit it. Do you understand? And you know, it's so sad, and it's so bad to the extent that you would think they are doing you a favor. They make it look like they are doing you a favor. They're actually exploiting you, and they're actually feasting on your vulnerabilities. All right. So first, you have to get out of that pit of self-pity. Don't wallow in self-pity. Accept yourself, and then get engaged. When I say get engaged, get busy. Do you understand? Get busy. Okay. Remember this. Sorry, I don't mean to sound like a pastor, but this is how it's coming. Based on the story my sister here shared. This is this. The best revenge for any situation is success. You know, this morning I was thinking about something. Have you figured out people who people didn't tend to want to have anything to do with at the start? Then in the long run, everybody wants to have a thing to do with them. Why? Because they've made something valuable out of themselves. Yeah. I think the best revenge will be success. There is nobody that doesn't want to be affiliated with value. There's nobody that doesn't want to be affiliated with success. So even when people are talking bad about you, I think you should accept yourself and be determined to make a message out of your mess. Make yourself successful. Get engaged, get busy, learn something. Just make sure that at the end of the day you are valuable. And trust me, you would not need a flyer. You would not need a banner. You would not need a handbill. They'll come back. People are so good at that. They will come back. You start hearing the worry bell. I didn't mean it that way. You know, yes. I was just it's a lie. It's because you've made something valuable out of yourself. You know, in Yoruba, a tribe where I come from, Yoruba tribe, you say something, you say, oh, yeah, so in summary, all she said is there's a God factor, all right? Admit your mistakes. God is not interested in your downfall at all. He wants you to pick yourself up, all right? Admit your mistakes, run back to God, accept Him. That's in place. And then accept yourself, acceptance. Don't wallow in self-pity. Pick yourself up, dust yourself up, get busy, get engaged, and focus on making value out of yourself, making yourself valuable. All right, so that's in summary. So, Teniola, thank you for coming. I don't know if there's one or two more information you want to share with us before we call it quit or call it a day.
Okay, yes. So I got my turning point from my self-pity started from when I was working as an administrator in church.
Okay.
And then, so as an admin now, you would dish out authorities, you dish out instructions to people, you tell them, don't do this way, do this that way and all. So there was this Sunday, it happened to be our communion service.
Okay.
So people go home and then come back for communion later in the evening. So pastor passed an instruction through me to the sound engineer. And then pastor told the person that he should get something done and all. So I went, as pastor has said, hello sir. Pastor said this or pastor said that. The person didn't even answer me. The person just kept on doing what he was doing and all. I was like, okay. No problem. So at the end of the service, pastor now went to meet the person that I gave an instruction. Did you not get the instruction I gave? The person didn't know I was coming. The person just said, who is that one to be giving me instruction? Yeah. Like,
And you heard it.
I heard it. Like the person, I'm sure the person had no intentions of letting me hear. But the person said it and I was coming and I just heard, who is that one to pass instructions to me? I'm like, as in, I just looked at myself that, am I that bad? As
So
in,
it means at some point there were, I don't know, this conversation is getting, it means at some point there was some level of stigmatization, yeah?
exactly. And I was like, hello, like, and I still got to the front, and the person was still saying that. The person had said, can you repeat it in front of her? Say, who is she? What's she? That I cannot tell her who is she to tell me what to do. I was like, wow, thank you, no problem. I think I stopped the job 3 months later to now go and start doing tech. I wanted to
Okay.
learn digital marketing. Then I wanted to learn
You
how
basically
to write
went
code.
into
I
improving
went
yourself.
into improving myself. That was when I knew that no, I wouldn't allow
She's a
anybody.
part-time texist
Yeah, part
before
time.
the food tech came in.
Yes.
If you can't grab it, forget about it. So
So
that's
yeah,
nice.
that
That's
was
nice.
when. But then you don't need to wait to hear before you move.
Yeah.
So you should just move
Just
because
move.
now information is free.
That means you don't need to wait to be pushed.
Yes.
Push yourself. Push yourself. Can we jam my hands together? This woman is a pastor message. Thank you for those
Okay.
values. We really appreciate. Thanks a lot. I know, I strongly believe that the Bible says, "He who has ears, let him hear." I want to believe that. I strongly believe. I don't want to believe. I strongly believe Jesus passed the message to someone out there who needed this. Someone out there who needed this. So we want you to just take it and make good use of it. And thank you for being our guest. Thank you for coming.
Thank
I
you.
know there's a lot to talk about, but like we said, we don't want to make this too long. So that's it on this episode of Casually Serious, where we get to dish out valuable information, serious information casually. You can see we don't have ties on, we laugh safe. But if you check therein, there are valuable information there that if you harness well, would be of good use for you and the future you're probably trying to create. So thank you for joining us this time. Once again, thanks for having us. Thank you for coming on air,
Thank you for having me.
Miss Teniola. I know. Thank you for sharing some of your life experiences with us. And if need be, as time goes on, we might get to see her again because she's a work in progress. She's expanding. You understand? So we're going to bring people here that are going to dish out values to us. As long as there is value, you see them here. So thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Casually Serious. Keep it locked up. Stay glued to this channel, this handle, this page, whatever it is, as we continue to dish out values. All right. So my guest to sign out.
Bye.
Yeah. I remain Ayomik Moluto Emmanuel. Peace out.
So he would ask him to lock me out. You should not allow me enter inside the house. I was suicidal for a long time, taking alcohol. I started smoking. These are things that I would never do on a good day. One night, 1:45 a.m., I was sleeping in the gallery of the church. So this security guard walked up to me and he tapped me. I woke up. He's like, Sister Precious, I'm sorry, but you have to leave the church.
At 1:45 a.m.
1:45 a.m. All you could do was to plan with the man to take her child away from her.
Welcome to another episode of Casually Serious, a podcast where we navigate the journey of love, heartbreaks, and resilience.